Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing my week 2 check-in for the month of June. So if you are new to my channel, welcome, and if you are not new, welcome back. Thanks for joining me. So this is just my spreadsheet. So this is kind of what I look like or look at each week to kind of tell what is due, but I also have a weekly paycheck tracker that I use as well too. And this houses my personal bills and also my household bills. So I do have two budgets that I take care of. So first things first is I have changed my days for my check-in to match my paycheck. So everything will now be from Friday to Thursday. So this week is going to be a little weird because that's not what I did last week. So there will be less things going on in this paycheck, but then it will get back to normal next paycheck. So I just did everything up until the 9th this week. So I left off on the 3rd, so I only had 3 transactions. On the 7th, I had some income because I sold some of baby girl's sleepers to one of my neighbors, and I just got $20 for it. I probably could have charged more now that I look at it, but it's whatever. So I got $20 in income for that. And then on the 8th, I had $5.18 roll over to my Acorns account. And this happens because I have my Capital One Quicksilver card that I use for all of my cashless cash envelopes. And I use roundups, which is every time I swipe, whatever the difference is from $1, it gets put into like a little savings account. And once it hits over $5, then it is taken out of my checking account and put into my Acorns investment account. So that's what came out. And then I had Netflix for $21.64, which leaves me at $93.62 going into my new pay date, which is June 10th. Okay, so that is what went on there. Now we are actually going to go to my paycheck expenses here. So as you can see, if you haven't watched my June budget, I will link it in the description box below. I went over my paycheck setup because now I do get paid weekly. So I did this little setup here so that I can see all of my bills here and then where I would like to pay them based on the week. And so these were the bills that I needed to pay for the first paycheck, which is June 3rd through the 9th. And so we are going to look at Netflix, and that was at $21.64. We had cash, which is the money I took out for my cashless cash envelopes, at $740. We had my auto loan. I split my auto loan into 2 separate biweekly payments, and so that was $313. And then we had my PayPal and Spark card that I have not yet paid for, because I did not have enough money in paycheck number 1, but also seeing my paycheck number 2, I did not get my bonus check just yet. We don't know what happened. So I am actually going to have to take these monies out of my savings account and pay the balances. And then whenever I get paid, just put that money back in. But it was not paid as of the 9th. And yes, the PayPal card was due on the 7th and Spark was due on the 9th. So I do need to make sure that I go and pay for those amounts. So those are going to, or these 2 are going to stay empty. So for paycheck 2, which is the 10th through the 16th, which will also be, I think I might have gotten it wrong. This would have normally been week 2, but now will be week 3. We'll get it together, y'all. We'll get it together. But paycheck number 2, which would be from the 10th through the 16th, I have my Acorn subscription for $3 that is due, my transfer to my household account, and then daycare. And that is what I'm expecting to pay for paycheck number 2. So we'll see what happens when I come back for my review. And now we're going to go into my Cashless cash envelope check-in. And this is going to be from the 4th through the 9th since I did everything up until the 3rd. So with groceries, we rolled over $341.05. For gas, we rolled over $151.43. For self-care, we rolled over 100, and for spending, we rolled over $48.40. Okay, so now we're gonna look at what we spent based on my Good Budgets app. So we're gonna come here, and as you can see, the monies have went down. So we're gonna see exactly what was spent. So we're gonna go to groceries, and on June 4th, I did an HEB run and a Walmart run. I talked about this HEB run in my weekly grocery video. And I talked about how this was really supposed to be $80, but I ordered some cherries and they told me the cherries were going to be one price. And then after I drove off and left and got my receipt, they charged me $20, y'all, for cherries. And normally if I know it's going to be that expensive, I don't buy cherries. But you know what? I decided that I was going to keep it and not make a big deal about it. We enjoyed the cherries, y'all. They were delicious, and I almost want to buy another set this week. So that's what happened at HEB, and then Walmart, I just spent $48.39. So altogether, that came out to $149.08. And that leaves me with $191.97 for the next 3 weeks, actually. So we'll see how that goes, because I'm going to need to save a ton for this to really last the next 3 weeks. Next, we're going to look at gas. I have talked about it in my video with my 5 tips and tricks to beat inflation, which I'll also link that in the description box below. I talk about how, for me, instead of waiting until my vehicle gets to E, I fill my tank up on a when it gets to half a tank. And y'all, I was watching some of my old videos, and this is not something new for me. I've been doing this for a while. I was watching a video and I mentioned it, and I was like, y'all, I don't fill up my tank on E. I fill it up at half a tank. And I was like, look at you, girl. Look at you. So I fill my tank up every half of a tank, which then sort of keeps me almost right at what I would be paying if I was filling up my tank on E. So we can tell that $46, that if you double that, that is what I would have to pay if my gas tank was at E. So I spent $46.22, and I normally get my gas at Sam's Club, because I saved that like 5%, or not 5%, 5 cents. So I spent $46.22, which leaves me with $105.71. And this is even more scarier, because if we did $45 for the next 2 weeks, that's almost $80-something, which would leave me with $20-something at the end of the month. So I think that we're looking at me going over budget in gas, because I spent money twice, once again, in the first week to buy to buy gas. So here we are again. Self-care, I did not spend anything, so we still have 100. And then for spending, on the 4th, I went to work that week, or that Saturday, and I was running late and I didn't want to, but it was just the closest thing to me. So I went to McDonald's and I spent $4.63. And that leaves me with $43.77. So that is all of my spending for the week, you guys. I actually did pretty decent, I guess. The money that I spent in groceries, oh, y'all, I can't say, I don't know. It's just, it is what it is with groceries. I really don't know any other ways to save. I am buying what I need and not what I don't need, but everything that I do need is just exponentially so much more. So we'll see what happens, y'all. We'll see what happens. And then here we are with gas as well too. I always just see myself, this is June, and it also happened in May as well too, where I had one week where I had to double up on paying gas for some reason, and it took, this 102 took a huge chunk out of my budget. So, because one of these could have covered one of these weeks. So, we'll see what happens, you guys. But this is my weekly check-in, and that actually concludes my week 2 check-in for June. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in the next one.